Hello YouTube and welcome to a new tactics video. I'm going to try to solve some more tactics today, not many. I'm on a schedule, but I'm going to take half an hour off just to solve these. So let's try at least to solve as many as possible, but as correctly as possible this time as well. Although I want to solve them correctly every time, I'd really want to try to find every single move in this video. So there might be 2, there might be 5 tactics. We'll see. And if I get them wrong, I will be pissed. So I've passed 387 and failed at 73. That leaves an 84% of passing rate and 16% fail rate. And last time I stopped at 2152 in rating. Let's try to amp that up just a bit, alright? So let's start off with this one. Black just played f5, alright? So what is going on here? Well, first of all, I really like my rooks. I really like my position. What is the ideas here? There are no loose pieces, but there are some attacking chances at least. The only thing is if I, for instance, play rook captures h7 and start to calculate that immediately, you might notice that he has bishop to h5 blocking another check, and that's something that is really annoying. So we can disregard rook captures h7 for now. But what about queen h6? Still he has bishop to h5, right? But then we can actually capture that bishop due to the fact that this pawn is then pinned because of our rook to his king, right? So that might be something that we could consider. Another thing to consider would be rook captures g4, but rook captures g4 wouldn't leave us with much. But queen to h6 threatens a mate on g7 immediately as well. So after queen h6, probably king to f7 or rook to f7. Maybe rook f7. Probably that's a better choice. But then we have queen captures g6 check. That is a nice move. So if pawn captures g6, then rook h8 mate. And if rook here to g7, then we take, and that is a mate too. So after queen to h6, the only move is king to f7 probably. And then queen to g7 check. Or queen captures h7. Let's calculate queen g7 check first. King e8. And he is kind of slipping away, isn't he? So then let's look at queen captures h7. King to e8. Queen captures g6 check. King to d7 or rook to f7, and he's still kind of slipping away, and I don't like that. Is there a way to force him not to go to f7 though? I don't see it. Queen h6, king f7. Nope. Queen h6, king f7, queen captures h7 check, king e8, queen captures g6 check, rook f7, or king to d7. If king to d7, then maybe I can play rook to h7. But I'm not sure that line actually works. I'm not winning more than a couple of pawns. I'm happy though, but still. I want a mate. Alright, let's look at the rook captures h7 again. King captures h7. Rook h1 check. Or simply... Nah, it does not work. does it. Rook captures h7, king captures h7, rook captures g4, rook captures back or pawn captures back. And then queen h2 check, king g8. But then he still slips away on f7. That's the thing. Yeah, he does. Queen h6, king f7. What if I take on g4 first, then rook captures g4? Then queen h6. King f7. Then I can't take on g6, right? Okay, queen h6, king f7, queen captures h7, check, king e8, queen captures g6, check, king to d7, rook captures g4. If rook captures, then I don't have queen captures f5 due to this rook. Me wanting to take that rook, winning winning a bishop. There is definitely something I'm missing here. Definitely. What about rook captures h7, king captures h7, and then queen to h2 check? Queen h2 check. If bishop to h5, then queen captures h5. And if king to g8, then what? That is just giving away the rook for a pawn. I have queen h6, but king f7. Then I don't even have the ability to capture here. I would then have to give a check on h7 first anyways. But yeah, let's go for the pawns. And he goes for that. Okay. We definitely need to look at this afterwards. Taking on h7 with the rook, probably. Preferably. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Capturing back allows king to e8. But probably the best idea. Yeah. Okay, problem solved. That seemed a bit unnecessary. I'm going to check that out right now as we speak. It seems a bit annoying actually that worked. But we'll see. So after queen h6, what about king f7? Why doesn't that work? Knight d2 actually is the great move. Also queen captures here, but after this move, well, the computer suggested that it did not work after a little while there. But if king e8, then bishop g7. Wow, okay. Yeah, alright. Okay. But it felt kind of unnecessary, right? To do that. But alright, let's continue. Queen h5. So black to move. if we could somehow get rid of this queen, then we would probably have bishop captures g2. Even bishop captures g2 right now seems like a good idea. So capturing on g2, and if rook to g1, then g6. He doesn't have the f5 square, and he doesn't have the f3 square. And he does not have g4, because my knight is still defending that. And h4 is guarded by my queen. So I will be a piece up in that case. The only thing after bishop captures g2 is bishop captures e6. But do I really have to worry about that? Then I can just take on h1, right? Because after I take on h1, he does not have a mate on f7 due to my knight on h6 yet again. And I can still just play g6 after he plays something like d3. And if I play g6 right away, like both of those moves seem quite alright, g6 and bishop captures g2, but I feel like g6 right away might give him some possibilities. I do not know how. I don't. Maybe that is the better choice actually, g6, once I think about it. Forcing the queen to either e2 or d1. Oh, g6, then has queen to g5, alright. Yeah. And then I can't capture on g2. And if I take his queen, then knight captures back. So I definitely have to take on g2 first. Okay. Alright, let's do it. g6. And now, not taking the queen, but rather taking this knight. Alright. Problem solved. Cool. I like that. Neat puzzle. So choosing between those two moves, g6 or bishop captures g2, just noticing queen g5 is a really important square for the queen to go to. So if I were to play g6 first, as I mentioned, he would play queen g5, and I have the option of capturing or playing something else, but I can't really take on g2 with my bishop because the queen is defending that square. And if I take the queen, the knight captures back and bishop captures g2 does not have that punch to it, right? Let's continue. King to e7, alright. Yeah, king e7. So what's up with this? Can't I just take that bishop? What's wrong with taking the bishop? Is there something better? Something worse? I'm not sure. So queen captures d4, then c5. Is this idea? Maybe. c5 is kind of annoying though, and it also almost opens up towards my king there. My bishop on d3 might get stuck at some point, or has to move back to e2 or f1. But is there a way for me to take the bishop and defend against c5? Because after c5, queen has to move back to f4, but then he has c4, attacking both my bishop and the knight on a4. Then I probably have queen g5. Check. And the king doesn't have a lot of options though. Does not have a lot of options. King f7, king e8, or king f8. Probably the safest square is king f8. Not allowing any more checks. If he does, then I can play bishop captures g6 check, and then move my knight onto, let's say, c3. Although it looks scary for white, Black's king is in the middle of the board himself, so even though this b pawn has to capture on c3 after bishop captures, queen captures, I don't think that is a bad thing. But the problem is, after king to f8, when my queen is on g5, where do I put my queen, or how can I continue the attack? Because I don't see how to do that. I mean, I can play bishop captures g6 and queen captures a4. Will happen, and then what do I do from there on? My queen has no entrance squares, right? The only thing might be queen to f4 there though. Queen f4 back. Okay, queen f4 back. The knight to f6. Or if king here, then that's queen to f7 mate. And if king here to e8. Yeah, that's not possible. So king e7. Then queen to f7 check. King d8. And then what? Probably queen captures e6, right? I also have the d file almost opened up in that case. I don't see anything else, like checking right away might be a good idea as well. Maybe that's it. Maybe I can actually check right away. Queen g5 check, king f8. But then he has bishop captures e5, which is really annoying because then I don't have queen to f4 check. No, it has to be queen captures d4. Yeah. Yeah, but my knight gets away. That's the thing. Yeah, let's go for it. Queen back. Problem solved. Alright. And that one was rated, what is 2,410. Really? Okay. But I took my time on this one though. I really took my time. Although not the hardest puzzle that I've solved. I've solved harder puzzles which are lower rated, so to speak. But that's kind of subjective, what is hard and what it isn't. So putting a rating onto a tactics puzzle like these are quite hard because, like, I've given it a bit of a thought, and it's quite unusual that every single player on, let's say, the 1600 levels knows every thematic that is in the 1600 puzzle. Yeah, puzzles, basically. My English is kind of bad. I'm sorry. But okay, this is a fun one, and probably a hard one. Have to play it really accurate, as with all the tactics puzzles. But what to play? So c3 check is kind of my one move that I'm really considering. c3 check, king d1 or king c1, doesn't matter. Rook captures, then pawn captures back, check, and the king still has some options here. King d1, king c1, or king c2. If king c2, then rook e2 check. So yeah, basically, if he takes with a rook, I'm going to mate him before he even gets a chance of playing this pawn right up to h8. Or even just capturing on g2 and then place my rook on h2. So no worries there. But after c3 check, king, let's say king to d1, probably only move, because if king to c1, then rook to e1 is checkmate. So c3 check, king d1, then b3, b3. I like that. b3, and then what does he play? Well, rook c1. But we have to consider every other possibility as well. If he plays rook to d2, then we simply take with the pawn And he does not yet again have the chance of playing h7, because if he does, we're going to play king to d3, and there's a mate next on e1. Yeah, c3 looks just really strong. And I don't like b3 that much because it doesn't have that punch to it yet again. c3, king d1. I could also play king to d3, but that's kind of unnecessary. Then I'm giving him a tempo with h7. Nah, let's not do that. c3, king d1, b3. Let's say rook to c1 then. Then I probably have the time to play, let's say, king to d3. Nah, then I can play c2. Yeah, I can play c2 with a check, and after rook captures, pawn captures, king from d1 captures, then rook to e2 check. Let's say king to b3, then rook captures g2, h7, rook h2, and I'm still winning. Let's go. Okay, so he does that right away. I'm still going to do this, I assume. Let's give this check. Maybe I was wrong. I did not anticipate that. I really thought he had to move. I did not calculate that one. Alright, that is weird, and that should be considered. Because now he's threatening h8 equals queen. And I can't really play king to d3, can I? Because king d3, rook captures c3, king captures c3, h8 equals queen. And I'm the one who is really in trouble. So that's a bad move by me. Not seeing that he didn't have to move the rook. Alright. That is terrible. But okay, I like it. b3, h7, okay. So I feel like I'm kind of forced to play b captures c2, king captures, and then rook to e2 check. Let's say king to c1, then I have king to d3, of course. If king to d1, then I have c2 check, king c1, king to d3. If h8 equals queen, then I have rook to e1 check, king b2, then queen, c1 equals queen check, and I will probably win that game. Yeah, looks decent enough. Yeah. And if captures king c1, then king to d3, right? That's GG. Just double checking. Check. Takes back. Rook here. What about king to b3? King b3, then probably rook to b2. Yeah, rook b2, and then after the king moves, let's say to a4, then rook to b8. Yeah. Okay, let's go for it. Okay. So maybe I should have calculated a bit better, because I thought I could play c2, but I have king to d3 now. So it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Let's move and queen. I could go for this, but why not play c2? Just double checking again, because I'm a bit nervous that I'm taking or making the wrong move here. This was a bit harder than I anticipated. These puzzles, man. Rook e1 check, king captures. Yeah, c2 doesn't come with check, so I pretty much have to force him with a check here. Check. Problem solved. Alright. Cool. I spent a lot of time on that one. Let's do one final one. If this doesn't take too much time, I might have enough time for yet another one. But we'll see. So I have this fork on g3 if necessary, but I need to find the way of forcing that. So knight c3, h2, knight e2, h1 equals queen, then knight to g3 check. The problem is, after knight c3, h2, knight e2, he can play king to g4. That is really annoying. So what about king e3, h7, knight d2, h1 equals queen? Nah, I don't have enough time for that. I don't. Okay. What about knight c3, h2, knight captures e4? That's looking promising. Knight c3, h2, knight captures e4. If he moves his king, then I have both knight to f2 and g3, so even though he moves his king to g4, I have the f2 square available, so he does not play h1 equals queen. If he does, then I'm going to take it, and if he tries to attack my knight with king to g3, then king f1 or king e1, or even king e2, king e3. Yeah, that looks promising. So knight c3, h2, knight captures here. If king captures, then a7. And then if he then plays h1 equals queen, then I have a8 equals queen, skewering his king and picking up that queen. I'm going to go for that. Alright. That's a fun little tactic. Kind of surprised that that was rated 2300. But okay. So I have time for one more, I think. Let's do that. Yeah. King h7, alright. So what is going on here? I have the immediate knight to g5 check, winning the exchange of the rook. That's an exchange for me. But do I have something better? So again, if knight g5, queen captures g5, then rook captures g5, of course. So it doesn't work to capture that. And the pawn can't capture back because my queen is pinning that pawn. Alright. What else is there? So knight g5, king g7, knight captures f7, king captures f7. Or if knight g5, king h8, knight captures f7, bishop captures f7. By kicking that knight away, that would be really nice. Then I would almost force a mate, right? But I don't think I can do that by sacrificing my rook on g6 right now. Rook captures g6, king captures g6, rook g1 check. King h7. Knight g5. Check. Ooh, maybe I can. Maybe that actually works. Rook captures g6. King captures g6. Rook g1 check. King h7. Knight g5 check. If king g7, then I have knight captures e6 with a fork. I do, of course, immediately too, but I really like the fact that the g file is open. So after rook g1 check, king h7, knight g5. His only chance is king to h8, but then I have knight captures f7. So yeah, that works. That works. And it does take. Alright, cool. And that one was rated 2535. That is ridiculous. I'm sorry, but that is ridiculous. Although You might notice, first of all, knight g5. If you're just playing for the sake of playing the first move that comes to mind, then probably knight g5 would have been my move as well. But after considering rook captures g6 and looking at it, then I soon realized that I can actually pick up that queen on d8. So that rating is kind of overrated. As I say, quite often actually, especially on my streams on Twitch, rating is overrated. And in this case it is. Yeah. So the thing is, if it does not capture here with this queen, if king h8 or king onto the g file, then I have either knight captures f7, winning more material if king h8, or if king g7, then knight captures e6 check. Still winning that queen, but also this pawn on e6, right? So might as well just give up the queen right away. But, well. Yeah, so I think that was quite alright actually. I think we've managed to solve some tactics today. And I think that we did a really good job. Or I did at least. But I hope you guys paused the video when it went along and try to solve them for yourself. Alright, this has been more of the more productive tactics sessions that I've done lately. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, as well as commenting if you have any suggestions or questions, or want to watch me live, then go to Norwegian Chess Giant on Twitch.tv. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Bye.